Hello, everyone. My name is Rachit, and I'm from the KyteOne team. Today, I'm here to discuss AirLyft with you. AirLyft is a platform built to build, engage, and scale communities for Web3 projects. It's a multi chain decentralized growth hacking platform, and in the course of this presentation, we'll understand why. So what happens today is that a lot of C-level executives and very heavy experienced Web 2 folks, they are now jumping in the Web 3 bandwagon. They're great at building projects and they're great at building products, lovely at developing, but the moment it comes to growing their presence as a company, they get sort of lost. Because in the Web 2 world, this was very different. In the Web 2 world, if it's a SaaS platform, let's say you would run some discounts, you would run some coupons, you would run some freemium models, so on and so forth. But in the Web 3 space, there's a very big catch where your community is no longer optional. Your community is the number one thing, and your project exists because of your community. But the catch here is that to actually get this community going and to actually build and engage with this community, you have to continuously keep doing a lot of events. For example, if we check our crypto Twitter and see what's happening, you'll see there's a quiz happening from some startup. There's a whitelist, there's an airdrop, there's a giveaway, there's a competition, there's some AMA happening. Then there are again some whitelists, so on and so forth. Now, the sad part here is that even though this is so popular and every startup needs it, and the number of startups actually coming into the Web3 space is growing by the month, there is no single platform which helps Web3 startups to actually do all of this. So any Web3 project, let's say, will have to do a series of community engagement tactics and community engagement programs. Some of them are listed on the screen. So, for example, airdrops, AMAs, competitions, quizzes, whitelist, giveaways. For airdrops, let's say today they would go to some Telegram developer and get them some airdrop bot built. For AMAs, they would have to get some influencer on board, then also go through like a list of 5,000 questions, find those 5 or 10 actual real genuine questions from users who follow them, and then answer those. For competitions, there's actually no way today where they can actually create these easy competitions which are for Web3 on Web3. So, for example, right now competitions can be created with, say, follow us on Twitter, join us on Telegram, so on and so forth. But there are no competitions that can be created which say that get that NFT from there, stake this token there, get this token out from this liquidity pool, so on and so forth. Similarly, for quizzes, there are Google Forms, but what about distribution? What about winners of the quiz? How do you actually give them those tokens which they deserve? So all of this is a mess as of today. And as a community, we're somehow still stuck on the left side of the screen, where when startups are driving engagements, they're limited to the options which they can provide to their users. So they can say that retweet a post, follow them on Twitter, join their Telegram community. But wouldn't it be better if we move to the right side of the screen, and as startups, as the crypto community, we actually create more engaging, more dynamic, we try to drive more dynamic engagement. For example, let's say we ask them to answer some question. We ask our users to stake some tokens on, let's say, if we have a DEX platform, then stake some tokens on our staking pool. Let's say we say that play some Instagram filter, and if they do all of that, then they get those token rewards from a platform on chain instead of having to follow up and so on and so forth. So that's where AirLyft comes into picture. And AirLyft, as we said, that it's a crypto first platform for marketing and for growing your community. So we have four main personas in AirLyft. So the number one are the startups and the projects. These are projects which will have a lot of marketing and a lot of tools on AirLyft, where they can create giveaways, they can distribute NFTs, distribute tokens, do a lot of social activities in the Web 2 as well as in the Web 3 space. Then there's the community who wants to actually engage with these genuine projects, and they can use AirLyft for a rewarding and meaningful experience. Then there are KOLs and influencers who promote these projects and startups, and then Launchpad's VCs connected individuals who refer these startups to us and also have a lot of features on AirLyft. So those are the four main personas for AirLyft. So let's first see the startups and the projects and how AirLyft actually helps them out. So there are lots of features for startups who would be onboarding on AirLyft. So the number one you can see is that startups can actually distribute tokens to their community after having done some event. Now, this event can be anything. It is fully customizable. We will have we will have many different apps in the Web2 space as well as in the Web3 space. So there can be some normal events where you say that follow us on Twitter, join us on Telegram, and then get X amount of tokens. Or there can be more advanced events which actually speak to a project's smart contract, and you say that list this token, add some liquidity to this pool, and then win some tokens. Then for game free projects, there are also lots of features on AirLyft where they can gather new players. They can identify these in-game saturation points where they say that, okay, this let's say there's a level 2 where a user needs 5 NFTs, and then there's a level 6 where they need 20 NFTs. So the user reaches to, let's say, level 5, but after level 5 there are lots of users who are dropping. Now with AirLyft, they can actually identify this point, and they can run various campaigns, various events from level 5 to level 6, so that the drop of the user sort of reduces. Then again, for dApps and NFTs, they can projects can gain early adopters. There is a very good solution for smart contract integration to create learn to earn campaigns, which we'll discuss in the next slide. And there's also a very big scope of expanding beyond the crypto community. The AirLyft platform will be very, very user friendly. It does not, depending upon the project's choice, it does not necessarily need very heavy Web3 knowledge for their users to actually take part in these events. So talking about the smart contract integration, which was the second last point on this slide, which is also one of our major features which we're developing, is that we're providing a no-code smart contract integration where we sort of complete the loop with smart contract integrated marketing funnels. So let's say there are some users on Twitter. Like, let's say you have 10,000 followers on Twitter, and you want to convert them into users. How do you do that? Especially if you're a Web3 crypto project. So with AirLyft, you can actually create these sort of funnels where you can say, okay, you're on Twitter, you follow our Twitter. Why don't you join us on our Discord and join us on our Telegram? Step number 1. Step number 2. So let's go back. So let's just think like your project has 3 features: to stake, swap, and add some liquidity to a pool. So you can say that step number 2, stake 100 tokens on our platform, and you would get 5 foo tokens as reward. So the user stakes these tokens, get these tokens as reward. Now you can add another step which says that, okay, now you've staked these tokens. Why don't you swap the foo tokens which you got as a reward to bar tokens on a platform, and then you'll get another 10 tokens as reward. So user does the third step as well. And then finally you say, okay, now take both of these tokens and add them, add some liquidity to the foo bar pool. And then the user does that as well. Now, all of this can be done with AirLyft. So the AirLyft actually reads your smart contract, reads your ABIs. You can put conditions on those ABIs, and you can then say that, okay, if user's wallet address has these many tokens staked, then give the user these 10 points and move them to the next step. So on and so forth. So all of this can be done very easily using our no-code smart integration platform. And not just that, there are also a couple of other really great features upcoming in the AirLyft platform. So for example, you can ask your ambassadors to connect their Twitter, connect their MetaMask and Telegram, Discord IDs, and then you can create events, recurring events, which sort of drive continuous engagement on all your platforms. So right now, your ambassador programs are mostly run in silos, right? There's one happening on Twitter, one happening on Telegram, and also nothing to do with the Web3 space. It's all, again, Web2. So with AirLyft, you can actually merge all of that. So you can create events which says that weekly, if there's a user who's retweeted at least 5 of our tweets, have been active on Telegram, and has at least 100 tokens staked on our platform, his wallet address has at least 100 tokens staked on our platform, then you can give the user a reward. So you can actually get this knowledge from all these platforms and conduct, and reward your actually genuine community for their genuine effort. These rewards can be anything. They can be your native token, they can be NFTs, they can be some special access, some appreciation posts, so on and so forth. So these rewards does not necessarily have to be something very specific. They can be something as it can also be some swag to your community members. So that's all of that would eventually be supported by AirLyft. And yeah, so that's the idea, and that's how Airlift helps the any of the crypto projects to grow. So creating a giveaway on Airlift is pretty straightforward. It's a 5 to 10 minute work. So any startup who's partnered with us can use Elif. There's a separate platform for startups to create these and to manage these events. So they decide rewards. As I said, rewards can be anything. They can be native tokens, KTE tokens, NFTs, coupons, secret codes, and then they decide what apps do they want to use. Now these apps can be learn to earn apps. They can be your Telegram, Twitter, some bot protection. It can be a quiz, some blog creation contests, so on and so forth. And then they have to lock the rewards. Now, when they actually lock the rewards, that's where the main trust comes, in a trustless way, where these rewards get locked on chain on our smart contract, and the participants then can be sure that none of the events which are getting conducted don't have any rewards. So they might not win, that's a different thing, but at least they know that the rewards are already locked on chain. And once that is done, then obviously then the airlift mechanism takes over, and you can host your event. So there are three separate kinds of reward pools, which are general, referral, and KOL pools. These general reward pools are so as a startup, if let's say I want to distribute 10,000 of my tokens, I can say that 5,000 goes into the general pool, some 2,500 go into the reward pool, and 2,500 go into the KOL pool. So 5,000 tokens get rewarded to users who are taking part in the competitions. Then another 2,500 goes to users who refer other users to take part in the competition, and then another X amount of tokens go into the KOL pool, which can then be used by KOLs to actually promote your event to other users and get more users in itself. Now, these KOLs would be verified KOLs on our platform. And they would first apply to the startup to promote their event. And if the startup agrees, then they can then go ahead and promote this event on their pages and get more users to the event. So that's how the reward pools in Airlift works. Again, these all three are decentralized on-chain reward pools. These rewards are not locked with us; they are locked with with the chain on which the rewards are being distributed. So there are lots of features for the community as well. We would be very soon doing a separate video for the community, and for the community to understand that how Airlift would help them. But in short, there are lots of competitions which the community can take part in. They can learn a lot about upcoming projects. They can take part in lots of quizzes and win rewards if they answer correctly and learn learn about the project properly. Then there would be NFT airdrops, NFT giveaways. There would be token giveaways, token airdrops, lots of social tasks to do, get rewarded. Lots of cool new projects they can discover and engage with from the beginning, from when the projects are about to start and they are in their, discovery phase. And then obviously that all organizations, all events being conducted on Airlift would have these tokens locked. And that's how the community can also know that the prize is already there. So for participating in giveaways, I think we would do a separate a separate video for this, so don't have to worry about this for now. For KOLs, again, there is project discovery, where they would have a list of projects which are running upcoming events. They have a separate reward pools, a revenue share, where I said that separate reward pool, basically they get the users to to take part in the event. They can also use Airlift as a project. So it's not necessary that only startups and projects can use Airlift. Even KOLs can use Airlift to grow their own following, to engage with their own community. And we're also working on a KYC process which gets them verified on Airlift.